Hello creator, welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm Robin Schmidt and I'm an independent Couture designer, and I just love to share my passion with chalking and creating with Couture's reusable silkscreen transfers, chalkology paste or inks, and all of our surfaces and or tools. So I'm here to share with you how you can create with all of that goodness. It's so much fun. Today we're going to work on a larger surface with a transfer that's available, some transfers that are retired, but I have an idea for one that you can use with it. I just don't have it, but it is available, and I'll tell you about that. Yesterday's live was Hug Me. I should have had the transfer here. I don't think I do. But it's just this adorable Hug Me with this cactus pot, and I added the stones behind it, what's called seeing spots, and then I used house patterns on the pot to make the little detailed in the lines. But what I really love working with our new creamy dreamy chalk paste formulas is that it's so easy to blend. I mean, it almost looks like watercoloring, how easy the colors can blend and create that cool watercolor effect. And I did that through the silk screen with my squeegee. So did a little ombre here with the pink on the top and then into the white. But I use two colors in with my stones, two colors in with my pot, and two colors with each cactus. So check that out. That was yesterday's live, so you can go to Odessa Rose Creates by Robin Schmidt, and you can either scroll through the page or you can click on videos and you will see recordings of all of my lives, and you can see how I do certain techniques. So today I had an idea. Oh, I should show you. I'm not going to show you yet. I'm going to paint the surface and then I'll show you where my inspiration came from. I'm going to find me on Facebook first, and see, it used to pop up, but now it doesn't. So I have to go to my page. There I am. Okay. So say good morning. Hello, Sabrina. Hello, Stacy. Got Vicky watching, Leanne, and some other people watching. So hey, say hi. Hi. I'm going to set this aside. We're going to paint, so I'm going to throw on my apron. My Couture apron. And I'm going to throw on some paint on a repurposed board. I know a lot of times I already have the boards painted, but the chalking is not going to take very long today. So this is a sign that I got on like 75% off at the hobby store, and I'm going to repaint that. Now, what I find best, yes, I could paint this black, but it's almost easier to paint whatever color the lettering is. That way it doesn't show through as easy. You may only need 2 coats instead of 3. So I'm going to paint this in white. Well, I call it white. It's called, I like to use Fusion Mineral Paint, but you can use any paint of your choice. You do not have to use this type of paint. This is what I like. It's called Raw Silk is the color. And I'm not going to even paint up to the edges. I'm going to leave a little bit of black, like I kind of like how I did here. On this one's a pink background, and I left the white or the pink on the edges. So I'm going to leave the black on the edges so I don't have to worry about it being perfect. I can just kind of leave that border there. And usually I like working on a light surface versus a black surface, but I don't always. So what's everyone up to today? Do you use more expensive? This is a brush by Purdy. It's a pretty good brand of brush. I think they last longer and they do paint a nice job. This paint smooths out pretty well anyway, but it never hurts to spend the extra money on a quality brush, I think. You'll get your money's worth out of it, providing you clean it and take care of it the way you're supposed to. Especially when I'm working with my Fusion Mineral paint. Craft paints, I just use craft brushes. And I'm going to turn this around, do it this way. And this will dry really quick with the heat gun, and we'll be able to put that second coat on quickly. And I kind of like that brush stroke look on the edges. I don't mind that at all. I think the only size Couture has like this is a little bit bigger than an 18 by 18, but is just the Sylvia in the 18 by 18, but it's a black board. And like I said, I like working on a white surface. So usually I try to find something similar in size like this, and then I feel like I hit the jackpot, because we have a lot of great transfers that are 18 by 18. So we'll dry this real quick. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Donna. Denise, good morning, good morning. Thanks for the tip on picking the paint color to match the letters. Yeah, I find it works better. Like, you can see how well it already is hiding the lettering. Sometimes I'll paint it white and then I'll paint it black, just because I know it's going to cover the letters up better. Sounds kind of strange. Or I'll put a brown, I have like a gallon of brown mist tint paint I got, you know, like for a fraction of the cost at the home center. And sometimes I'll paint brown on it first, and then I'll paint either white or black or whatever color I want. Sometimes that brown neutralizes it all out too. I especially do that on, usually I paint my porch boards brown on both sides, whether they're new boards or repurposed boards, because that way then the back side is brown and finished. And then usually I may paint them red for the holidays, or black or white. Sometimes I use brown as a neutralizer, or just the back side of a fresh board. You could definitely paint this black and it would be fine. I like to have my background be the light color generally. But we're using a lot of black in our print today, so using the black around the edge is going to work out really good. And you can see that it is still, I mean, you can still see the lettering, right? The second coat will probably do the trick. Generally it does. This paint also has a built-in primer and sealer, which is another reason why I like it. It's just a great paint. And I try to get my brush strokes really smooth now on the second coat. We are going to do a little paper towel press to also add a little bit of color to the negative space to our background. I haven't done a paper towel press in a while, so we are going to do just a hint of it. You already see that it's pretty much covering up the lettering. It's gone. I'm going to do the bottom half. I'm going to try to keep what transfers we're using to the very end, till right before we use them. So you're going to be surprised. Full of surprises today. It's not a holiday. I'll give you that clue. It's not for holidays. The big chunk. All right, we're just about done. One more dip. One more dip. And then I get a chip of paint in there. All right, throw this brush in my water. Shut my lid. Okay. All right, who else is saying hello? Hello, Vicky. Good morning. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Leanne. Good morning, Alina. Good morning, Beth. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, Sylvia. Christina, why do you like the mineral paint? If you've ever painted it, you'll know why. It's super smooth. It has a primer, sealer. A lot of repurposed furniture people use it. I even used it to paint my son's kitchen cabinets. It goes a long ways. It covers so well, it goes a long ways. It's hard, it's dirt, it's, what do I say, durable. You can put a tough coat on top of it if you are doing cabinets, but I didn't on my son's, and they're still holding up really well. It's been over 2 years now, so yeah, I just like it. You don't have to use it. You can use your chalk paint or house latex paint. There's no odor. It doesn't have that stretchiness like a latex paint has. I just like it. As it's drying, I can see a little bit of the lettering coming through, but I don't think it's going to be that noticeable once I have the paper towel press on it and the transfer, so I'm not too concerned about it showing through a little bit. I mean, you have to kind of look for it to see it. Let's get it dried really well and I'll make my final decision on that, but I think it'll be okay. Can mineral paints be used for outside pieces? Yes, they can be used for outside. A lot of people use them for their front door. Like I said, they have a sealer, and you could even put another sealer on top if you really want to. But I think I know people that have it, and it still works really well. Check out their website. It's just fusionmineralpaint.com. You can learn all about it. You can even find a store locator near you. And I will still wax this after I do a paper towel press, because I'll have that craft paint on it plus this, and this hasn't had time to cure. I've dried it, but it doesn't mean it's cured. And so I usually still wax before I lay a transfer on it. Mainly because I haven't taken the time to let it cure. How do you decide when to wax or not? Okay, I kind of just went over that. Okay. All right. I'm going to make sure I got the top of the top. And like I said, you can, I don't know if you can see them. You can, yeah, you can kind of see it. This especially, not so much the bottom maybe, but I don't think we're going to notice it as we start using our little craft paints here to do our paper towel pressing. I'm going to do Anita's Spark Brown. And I'm going to use Folk Arts Olive Green. And I'm going to do the brown first. Like I said, you know what? I'm going to need some fresh water because I don't want to use the water that my paintbrush is setting in. Get another cup of water here. Use a lot of water when I do my paper towel press, and just going to get a flat craft brush. All right, let's see here. See, okay, so I like usually when I do a paper towel press lately, depending on my design, but I like to focus in the corners where my printing may not be, my silk printing. So kind of in here, I'm going to leave this a little bit more open, and then up in here. And I'm going to do two colors. So you just take your brush, make sure it's pretty wet, and I just put the paint on my brush, just like that much. And we're just going to brush that on. And just keep wetting your brush because you want this wet. It will not be this dark when we are done. So it's very watery. You just want to spread that paint around in the water. And you're really not wanting it to dry. At this point, you're still wanting it to be very wet. And now we kind of want to just gradually wet this into very thin color because we want it to fade. We want it to fade into the cream. So just kind of fade it very thin in the middle. Okay. Now we're going to take a paper towel. I'm going to use this diamond pattern. I think this is the one that's a really old paper towel that I found in our shed that they probably don't make anymore. I also like it because it doesn't have any branding printed in it. And okay, so I'm just going to press it down like this. Now this is going to pick up the water and a lot of the paint color, a lot of the pigment. And you can take a look at it and you can kind of see your pattern in it. And I'm going to bring it down and do it down here. Now, it's a very distinct pattern right now. You can see it you can see it like that. I don't want it that prominent, like that strong of a pattern in it. So I'm gonna like press it again and move my pattern off. Like I don't want it to be the same pattern right on top of it. I'm gonna offset it. Keep pressing it so it lightens it up and kind of blurs it out, maybe you could say. Now you'll see that it's not that strong of a pattern, but there's lines and patterns, but it doesn't have that strong. Oh, that's a paper towel. Look, it's kind of pressed out of it. If I can show you any better, like that. So just kind of looks like just old dirty paint maybe, or dirty wallpaper almost. And I'm going to dry it with a dryer. And then even when I put on my next color, which is going to be a green, some of this will even fade out again because when you get this paint wet again, it may loosen up the paint and lose its pattern. But if you dry it really well, it might not. You just got to experiment with it and just go with whatever it gives you. Like, try not to have too much expectation. Just let it work for you. have glare on the board. So there it is. Okay, see the coloring. Now my next color is that olive green. I'm not going to put it as much as I did the brown because I just want a hint of olive. And I might even use a smaller brush. You can use the same brush. I'm just dipping it right back in that dirty brown watery water here. And I'm just going to add just a little bit on my brush. This is, doesn't want to come out, olive green. And I'm going to concentrate it more in just the corners. Just to kind of frame out the rest. So as you can see, it doesn't take much paint. Should make sure it's really, really wet. And it's not starting to dry on you, because then it'll leave it'll dry on and it'll look like that. So now I'm just blending it. And really the brown underneath is keeping its shape. It's keeping its patterning that I did, so that's good. And I'm just blending it in with the water to see if I can see it without the glare. Can you see it? I don't really want my water to run, but okay, it's just kind of around the edges. And I'm gonna grab a new paper towel and just press it. Picking up water and paint, so it's not going to be as dark. And just keep turning your paper towel so you're not getting like the same pattern everywhere. Whoa, just spilled water on my... Good thing I have a paper towel here. Get that out of the way. There we go. Now that much water did take away my brown, so I'm going to have to put a little bit back on. Okay. So I'm just looking to see where it still kind of has standing water and just dabbing it up. Okay, so we got some green in there. And hopefully you can see it. Greens and browns is kind of left in there. Okay. Now I'm going to dry this really well, and then I will put wax on it before we silk screen print. You want this dry, put on some wax. I use raw silk. It's a slightly off-white color of Fusion mineral paint. Raw silk. It's not white. Raw silk. Unless you want white, but it's an off-white. It's looking pretty cool. See if you can see it. All right. Now we're gonna wax, and I can either use the natural wax, or I can use the special dark. If I want to darken it up even more, I could put the special on. I think I'm gonna use the natural. Surprisingly. Get these out of the way. I'm going to use the natural. And I'm going to wax the whole surface, the black part. Sometimes I'll even wax the frame because it just gives everything a more once that wax hardens, it'll just finish off your frame too. Give it a harder surface. And but on this, we just want a thin coat on our. Still got some wax on there. Okay. Getting all the extra wax goobers blended in here. All right. Now we're ready to silk screen. I'm going to, what do I want to do first? These are the couple retired transfers I'm incorporating into. I'm going to use these trees from Christmas Tree Farm. I'm going to use this little log cabin from Marion Bright. These are retired. Those are going to be used with this new transfer called Never Forget. We're not going to do all of this. We're going to do part of it because I'm going to show you my inspiration. I was at Junk Stock, which is a huge vintage craft fair, outdoor event at a farm. They have it several times a year in Omaha. And I saw, oops, I lost it. I saw this shirt. I gotta find it. It was supposed to have been queued. So hold on. I saw this t-shirt hanging there, And I immediately thought of never forget transfer. Hold on. When was that? When did we go? Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves, because you got to see this. You got to see it. And I had it here. Just don't know what day it was. I found it. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Promise. Promise. I just can't remember if I saw it last fall or if I saw it this spring. I took a picture of it to remind me. Ugh. Go back to the fall. Do, 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 do. I really don't think it was in the fall. I think I saw it in the spring. Because this may have came out in the spring, the wood piece. So where is it? Well, I may have to just show you my imagination of it. It was a white t-shirt, and the printing was all done in black. And I had a ring of this wood piece around it, but inside it was trees. So it was kind of like a frame, the ring of the wood. God dang, it's so cool. I want to show it to you. I might have to just post it when I find it. Look one more time here. One more time. I'm not seeing it. Oh well, I'll show it to you later. I'll post it when I find it. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're just going to like chalk around the perimeter and make it like a frame to my little house. And I'm going to use the same. Never forget how far you have come. It's really, really small down here on the bottom. Makes me mad. I can't find it. Haha. See it? I'm walking by there and I went, whoa, that is something we can do with, except for I wish we had some really cool trees, but we don't. But that would be cool. Another thing you can use in the middle of this, which I don't have, is this. The Great Outdoors is calling. You could use that scenery in the middle. That would look really cool in it. So, some ideas. I don't have this transfer, but that would be cool, especially if you live in a mountain area or you like to go to the mountains, whatever. Right. So, I'm going to put a house in the middle. Don't you just hate fighting with these things sometimes? Let me tell you, in the early days of chalking, back when I first joined in 2018, if you did this, your transfer was practically ruined if you had it sticking to itself. It was not fun at all. So, kind of just centering it top to bottom here. And I'm just going to go around, not even fill in the bottom. So if you remember on our photo, it does go all the way around on the bottom, but I think my house is kind of big. So I might come like down to here and let the sidewalk come on out a little bit. And then the other trees I'm going to kind of put in the background behind the house. So we'll see how it turns out. And I so wish I had bark. You know, it's coming. I have very little, so I'm going to use a little bit of bark, but mostly black. That's why I put brown in my background, because I didn't have any. I'm just going to try to take the black. And these are old paste, so I've got to kind of work quickly. I gotta remember not to go too far in. I just kind of need the frame of it. I might go ahead and go all the way around it, and then just still go ahead and put my sidewalk through it, or my path. It's probably not a sidewalk, out in the cabins, out in the woods. Okay. And I could go ahead and put my sentiment in here. Never forget how far you have come. Paper here ready to lay it on. It's going to be cute. So cute. I'm going to dry it. So we got so far. So I saw this in, when did I see this? And I've been waiting. I don't know what I've been waiting on. I just kept forgetting to do it. Back in May. I'm like, I've got to do this. So you can see some of the brown in amongst the black. It looks really pretty. Really, really pretty. Bringing in the black from here and the brown. Looks really sharp. It would look really cool if I had those kind of trees to put in. I have some trees, but they're not like detailed like that. They're more like this. Or they're layering, and you can't really layer black. So It's more like for snow layering. But you never know. In our holiday suite that's coming out, they'll do something like that. Now, I think I'm just going to do the house, and then we'll put these more detail type trees kind of back in here across, like they're in the distance, right? And I'm going to go ahead and do the path and the house. Pretty sure I got that how I want it. I guess technically it would be centered. It's kind of off centered, so I'm gonna center my house in the circle. Pretty much. And I'm just going to do that in black and run the pathway across, coming out of the circle of rings. Got it. Silk screens are full of chalk paste. Just using the black. Let's look at it and see what it looks like. It's gonna come right off. Boom. Now we're gonna put some of the trees in the background. Looks cute. A little bleed through on my roof line, but since I waxed my surface, that will clean right up. I'll show you what I mean. See those little bleed marks right here coming down through the lines? I'm going to clean those up with a wet Q-tip after this dries. That transfer wasn't very sticky because I've used it so many times, so why you get a little bleed through. That's not bad. Sometimes I'll just leave them there if I don't mind them, which I might do. We'll take another lovingly used transfer that's been around for a few years, Christmas Tree Farms. I'm going to lay some of these trees back in here just to give it some dimension, some depth to our house here. And let's see, I'm going to put it right. I'm going to put the chimney, I'm going to put two trees kind of like between the chimney. So that looks like that. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see, I got to think. Kind of wish they were smaller. I might have to go up here. No, because then it blends into my house. I know I'm going to go around my chimney, which would be really easy to do if I did it in a different color. And I really don't want to bring in another color. So I almost think they're too big. Almost too big. Let me think about this. If they were a different color, it would work a lot easier, but they're not. I can't have them. Let's see. I can just maybe just put space, some space between the house and the trees. Might work. Let's see. I lost you guys. I gotta get you back on. Okay. Do you just dry for the purpose of live, or do you always dry? I almost always dry, because usually I'm going on to the next step. If you're talking about drying my paste, I almost always dry, because I don't want to touch it and accidentally smear it or anything like that. So yeah. Okay, let's see where this is going to take me. So I'm leaving a little space going around the house, like 1/4 of an inch, so my trees don't blend into my roof because they're all in black, right? So we're just kind of creating an outline. The trees are a little bit wider than I want, so I'm going to not do this tree and then move this over and do that tree, if that makes any sense. I'm going to pull this up and let it dry. That looks pretty. Add one more tree in the end. looks pretty cute. Actually, we're done. I'm done. I got my trees in the background. So there you go. Never forget how far you have come. Maybe you started out in a little home and now you have your dream home. Or maybe this is your dream home. Super cute, right? I love it. This looks great. I'm just gonna let it dry. There you go. I'm gonna leave my little doodads right there. Kind of looks like, I don't know, snow melting or something like that. Super cute. Go out and frame me up some really cute stuff like that mountain scene would work really good in here, or at least part of it. But I kind of liking the little log cabin in the woods. Looks really cute. But like I said, those are retired transfers, the trees and the house. But you can definitely get this and make a frame out of it. Super cool, right? And you can see my coloring, just a hint of green, just to bring a little bit of that forest color in my paper towel press. So awesome. So, you know, it's hard to do for me to do a black white farmhouse sign. I like to make it a little bit more artistic. So there you go. There you are. They are. Thanks for chalking with me today. And I don't think I have any morning plans the rest of the week. Hopefully if I come up with something, I'll pop on. I'm just waiting for all my new stuff to come out of the new catalog. It still hasn't shipped yet. Hopefully I'll be soon. I didn't order like right at the time that it was released. I ordered a couple hours later, so I'm sure there's a zillion orders in front of mine before they ship. But so anyway, I got a lot of transfers that I haven't even used yet that I ordered this summer, and so I need to get cracking on those. And we have plenty of time to make fall, Halloween, and Christmas. So, which is pretty much all that I ordered. I don't know if I ordered too many everyday stuff, but super cute. And I'll chalk with you later. Bye.